Emily, quick question for you. How many hours do you think you spend actually speaking English in a day?
Oh man, probably like 8 or 9 hours. But here's the thing, I don't think I'm speaking English like half the time. Does that make sense?
Wait, what do you mean? You're literally speaking right now.
Yeah, but I'm not thinking about it. It's automatic. And I think that's actually the secret we need to talk about today.
Oh, I love this. So you're saying fluent speakers aren't constantly thinking about grammar and rules?
Exactly. And honestly, I think that's what most learners are missing. They're studying English, but fluent speakers are just living in English.
So for everyone listening right now, you're going to hear us talk about the real habits of fluent English speakers. And here's the best part. You're going to improve just by listening. No tests, no grammar drills, just real English.
And you know what? This is probably the most important thing you'll hear about language learning today. So just relax, listen, and let your brain do the work.
Let's get into it.
So Emily, the first secret habit I want to talk about is listening without translating. Do you actually translate in your head when you're listening to English?
No, not anymore, but I used to do it constantly. I would hear a word in English, think about it in my language, and then respond. It was so slow and exhausting.
What changed?
I just stopped doing it. Seriously, one day I realized that every time I translated, I was actually making myself slower. My brain was working too hard.
But how did you stop? That's like asking someone to stop blinking.
It's not that hard, actually. You just practice listening to English without any translation at all. At first, it feels strange because your brain wants to translate everything. But after a while, your brain just starts understanding English directly.
And that's the habit, right? Fluent speakers just understand English without the translation step.
Yes, they hear something and they immediately know what it means. The English goes straight to the understanding part of their brain. There's no middle step.
I think a lot of learners don't realize how much energy they're using to translate. It's like running while carrying a heavy backpack. If you just put the backpack down, everything gets easier.
Great analogy. And the amazing thing is, once you stop translating, everything gets faster. Your speaking gets faster, your listening comprehension gets better, your brain feels less tired after English.
How long did it take you to get to that point?
Honestly, a few months of really focused listening, like genuinely focused. Not just having English on in the background, I was really paying attention and forcing myself to understand without translating.
And you did this how? Like, did you watch movies or listen to podcasts?
Both. I watched English movies with subtitles in English, not my language. I listened to podcasts about topics I cared about, and I even talked to myself in English without stopping to translate.
Talk to yourself? That sounds funny.
It is funny, but it's actually one of the best habits you can have. Because when you're talking to yourself, there's no pressure. If you make a mistake, who cares? You're the only one listening.
So the habit is basically stop translating, start understanding English directly.
Exactly. And the way you practice that habit is by putting yourself in situations where translation is not possible. Like, listen to English when you can't quickly look up words. Just keep going and try to understand from context.
That makes sense. Okay, vocabulary time. The first phrase is listen without translating.
It means understanding English directly in your mind without converting it to your language first. You don't translate it your brain.
For example, a fluent speaker hears "that's awesome" and immediately knows it's positive and exciting. They don't translate it.
Right, and for learners, try watching an English movie with English subtitles, not your language subtitles. You'll be forced to understand without translating.
Next phrase, direct comprehension.
This means when you hear or read English, you understand it immediately without any translation step.
For example, the goal is to reach direct comprehension where English feels natural without any translation step.
Exactly. When you have direct comprehension, English doesn't feel like a foreign language anymore. It just feels like language.
Another important one, stop translating.
It means don't convert English words into your language in your head while listening or reading.
For example, I finally stopped translating and now I can have real conversations.
Yes, repeat after us. Listen without translating. Direct comprehension. Stop translating.
Great. Let's move to the next habit.
Okay, Michael, the second secret habit is something I think a lot of learners don't expect. Fluent speakers actually don't speak that much at the beginning of a conversation. They listen a lot.
Wait, really? I thought fluent speakers talked all the time.
No, that's actually a misconception. Good listeners are usually fluent speakers because they're gathering information, understanding the other person, and then responding thoughtfully.
So you're saying fluent speakers talk less?
Not necessarily less, but more strategically. They listen first, understand the context, and then speak. Learners often do the opposite. They just start talking without really listening.
That's interesting. Why do you think that is?
I think learners get nervous, and when they get nervous, they talk to fill the silence. But fluent speakers are comfortable with silence. They're comfortable listening.
So they don't feel that pressure to always say something.
Exactly. And here's the secret within the secret. When you listen more than you talk, you actually learn faster. You're hearing how native speakers use English. You're picking up patterns, expressions, the natural rhythm of the language.
Have you noticed this in your own learning?
All the time. The conversations where I learned the most were actually conversations where I mostly listened and asked questions. The other person did most of the talking.
And they were probably happy about that too, right? Most people love talking about themselves.
Oh, yes. People love it when someone listens to them. So you get two benefits. You learn more English, and the other person thinks you're a great conversationalist.
That's perfect. So the habit is listen more than you talk.
And if you think about fluent speakers, they're usually the ones asking good questions. They're not the ones dominating the conversation.
So when you're learning English, instead of thinking, how can I show off my English, you should think, how can I understand this person better?
Exactly. Ask questions, listen to the answers, ask follow-up questions, and I guarantee you, your English will improve way faster than if you're just trying to talk all the time.
This is so good. Okay, vocabulary time. The first phrase is strategic listening.
It means listening with a purpose and paying attention to specific things, like how native speakers use certain expressions.
For example, a fluent speaker practices strategic listening by paying attention to how people use phrasal verbs in conversation.
Exactly. Repeat after us. Strategic listening.
Next, ask follow-up questions.
Definition. This means when someone finishes talking, you ask another question to learn more about what they just said.
For example, she told me about her job, and I asked follow-up questions to understand more about what she does.
Yes, and when you do that, people feel heard. They want to keep talking to you. Repeat after us. Ask follow-up questions.
Next important phrase, gather information.
It means collect knowledge or details by listening and observing.
For example, during the conversation, I gathered information about how native speakers use the present perfect tense. All right, we've covered listening without translating and listening more than talking. What do you think is the hardest part about building these habits?
The hardest part for me was believing that it would actually work. I was so used to studying grammar and memorizing vocabulary that just listening felt like I wasn't doing anything productive.
That's such an important point. People think learning has to feel hard.
Exactly. They think if I'm not studying hard, I'm not making progress. But that's not how language works. Language is caught, not taught.
So for our listeners, here's a question for you. What's stopping you from listening more? Is it time? Is it confidence? Is it just not knowing where to find good English content? Think about that and maybe write your answer in the comments.
And another question, if you started listening more and talking less in your English conversations, what do you think would change? How would that make you feel?
Yeah, think about that. And maybe try it this week. Just once, try to listen more than you talk and see what happens.
I think you'll be surprised by how much you learn and how much better the conversation goes.
Okay, let's move to the third secret habit, and I think this one is going to surprise a lot of people. Fluent speakers embrace making mistakes.
Yes! Oh my God, yes! This is such a big one.
Tell me about your experience with this.
I think I used to be so scared of making mistakes that I would literally not speak. I would just listen and not say anything because I was afraid of saying something wrong.
But that doesn't help you improve.
It doesn't help at all. And one day I realized every fluent speaker I know has made thousands and thousands of mistakes. That's how they became fluent.
So you started making mistakes on purpose?
Not on purpose, but I stopped trying to be perfect. I would just speak, and if I made a mistake, I would just move on. I didn't stop and apologize and feel embarrassed.
And did people correct you?
Sometimes, but usually they just understood what I meant and we kept talking. And that's when I realized nobody really cares about your mistakes. Everyone just wants to communicate.
That's so true. Nobody's keeping score.
No one is. And honestly, mistakes are where the learning happens. If you always speak correctly, you're probably speaking about things you already know how to say.
But if you make a mistake, it means you're trying to say something new.
Exactly. Mistakes mean you're pushing yourself. And fluent speakers know this. They're not scared of mistakes at all.
How does this habit actually work, though? Like, you can't just decide not to care about mistakes.
You kind of can, though. You have to change your mindset. Instead of thinking, oh no, I made a mistake, you think, great, I'm learning something new. That mistake is showing me a gap in my knowledge.
So every mistake is like a gift.
A gift that shows you exactly what you need to practice. And then you practice it, and next time you won't make that mistake. That's how learning works.
I love that. So the habit is embrace mistakes and use them as learning opportunities.
Yes, and the practical way to do this is to put yourself in situations where you will definitely make mistakes. Like speak in English when you're not totally sure how to say something. Have conversations about new topics. Try to express complex ideas.
That's where the real growth happens.
Exactly. The comfort zone is not where you improve.
All right, the vocabulary for this section, the first phrase is embrace mistakes.
It means to accept mistakes as a normal and positive part of learning.
For example, fluent speakers embrace mistakes because they know mistakes mean progress.
Right. And for you, try this phrase. I'm going to embrace my mistakes and use them to improve.
Next phrase, growth mindset.
It means believing that you can improve your skills through effort and practice, including learning from mistakes.
For example, she has a growth mindset about English, so she's not afraid to try new things.
Exactly. A fixed mindset says, I'm bad at English. A growth mindset says, I'm not good at English yet, but I can improve.
That's a big difference.
It's everything. Repeat after us. Embrace mistakes. Growth mindset.
Next important one, push yourself.
It means to try harder, do more, and go beyond what's comfortable.
For example, I decided to push myself and speak English every day, even though it was scary.
Yes, and the habit of fluent speakers is that they push themselves constantly. They're always trying things that feel a little uncomfortable.
That's where the magic happens.
Repeat after us. Embrace mistakes. Growth mindset. Push yourself.
So they're always challenging themselves slightly.
Always. And they're not trying to understand every single word. They just keep going and understand from context. Does that sound familiar?
Like when we talked about listening without translating, it's the same idea with reading.
Exactly. Read without translating every single word. Read without stopping to look up words. Just keep going and understand what you can. Your brain is smarter than you think.
So the habit is read every day. Read things you care about and read things that are slightly challenging.
That's it. And the result is your vocabulary grows automatically. Your grammar improves without studying grammar. Your writing gets better. Everything improves from reading.
It's like the foundational habit that makes everything else easier.
Absolutely. And it's one of the easiest habits to build because you can read whenever, wherever, during lunch, before bed, on the bus, anywhere.
Perfect. Vocabulary time. The first phrase is read with purpose.
It means reading because you want to understand something, not just for the sake of reading.
For example, I read a blog about technology because I'm interested in tech and I want to learn about it in English.
That's perfect. Repeat after us. Read with purpose.
Next, expand vocabulary.
It means to learn new words and add them to the words you already know.
For example, I narrate my experience by saying, I'm listening to the podcast while I drink my coffee and it's really good.
Perfect. And that sentence probably has a few mistakes, but who cares? You're getting practice.
Exactly. Repeat after us. Narrate your experience. Next, think in English.
It means to use English in your mind, not just to speak English out loud.
For example, I'm trying to think in English throughout my day, not just during English lessons.
Yes, and at first it's hard, but after a while it becomes automatic. Repeat after us. Think in English.
Okay, the sixth secret habit. Fluent speakers consume English content they actually love.
And this is so important, and it's the opposite of how a lot of people learn. They watch English learning videos, they do English exercises. But fluent speakers, they watch movies, listen to music, read books, just like regular people.
So they're not watching English learning content?
Not primarily. I mean, sometimes. But mostly they're consuming English content that they would watch anyway, even if it wasn't for learning.
Like, you might watch a TV show because you're interested in the story, not because it's educational.
Exactly. And that's so much more fun. And because it's fun, you actually stick with it. You actually watch more, you get more exposure.
So the habit is just consume whatever English content you love.
Yes, and the cool part is you improve faster because you're so engaged. Your brain is focused on understanding the story or the music or the article because you care about it, not because you're trying to learn.
That's probably why they call it passive learning.
Right, it feels passive because you're just watching or reading what you love, but your brain is actively learning. It's learning vocabulary, expressions, accents, grammar, all without you thinking about it.
So what kind of content do fluent speakers consume?
Everything. TV shows, movies, podcasts, YouTube channels, books, blogs, music, video games, social media, whatever interests them.
And they consume it in English?
Yeah! So if they like cooking shows, they watch cooking shows in English. If they like sports, they watch sports commentators in English. If they like music, they listen to English music and read the lyrics.
That's so much better than studying from a textbook.
It really is. And the beautiful thing is, once you develop this habit, you never run out of English to consume. There's literally millions of hours of English content out there.
So you never get bored.
Never. And you get to explore new interests at the same time you're improving your English.
Vocabulary time. The first phrase is consume content passively.
It means to watch, read, or listen to English content for enjoyment, not specifically for learning.
For example, I consume content passively when I watch my favorite TV show in English without trying to study it.
Yes. Repeat after us. Consume content passively.
Next, get immersed.
It means to surround yourself completely with English, so it's all you're experiencing.
For example, when I watch an English movie with English subtitles, I get immersed in the English language and culture.
Exactly. And when you're immersed, you learn faster because your brain is getting so much input from every direction.
Moving on, repeat after us. Get immersed.
Next important one, follow your interests.
It means doing or learning about things that you find interesting and enjoyable.
For example, I follow my interests by watching English content about travel and cooking because those are my passions.
So it's not about what you think you should learn, it's about what you actually love.
Exactly. Repeat after us, consume content passively, get immersed, follow your interests.
All right, let's talk about the seventh secret habit, and this might be the most important one yet. Fluent speakers are consistent.
Yes, this is the real secret. Like all the habits we've talked about, they don't matter if you don't do them consistently.
What do you mean by consistent?
Consistent means every single day. Not 5 days a week, not when you feel like it, every day. It is, but here's the thing, it doesn't have to be for hours. Fluent speakers don't necessarily study English for 8 hours a day, but they do something every single day, even if it's just reading for 10 minutes or listening to one podcast.
So it's about the habit, not the amount of time.
Exactly. Your brain is like a muscle. If you exercise every day, even for a little bit, you get strong. But if you exercise for 5 hours once a month, it doesn't work the same way.
So the habit is do something in English every single day.
No matter what, even if you're tired, even if you don't feel like it, even if it's just 5 minutes.
And what happens when you're consistent like that?
Your brain starts to change. English starts to feel normal. It starts to feel automatic. And then one day you realize, oh my God, I actually think in English now. I actually understand native speakers. I can actually hold a real conversation.
But that only happens if you're consistent.
Only. There's no shortcut. You can have the best teacher in the world, but if you're only learning once a week, you're never going to become fluent.
So consistency is actually more important than the quality of the learning?
I would say they're equally important, but if you had to choose, consistency wins because consistent mediocre learning beats inconsistent perfect learning.
That's a good saying. So for everyone listening, the challenge is, can you commit to doing something in English every single day?
And I mean every day, no days off. You want to become fluent? This is what it takes.
Vocabulary time. The first phrase is build a habit.
It means to do something so regularly that it becomes automatic and natural.
For example, I built a habit of reading English articles every morning with my coffee.
Yes, and the key word is regularly. You do it so often that eventually you don't have to think about it.
Repeat after us. Build a habit. Next, stay consistent.
It means to keep doing something regularly over a long period of time.
For example, even when I didn't feel like it, I stayed consistent with my English practice because I wanted to become fluent.
Exactly. Consistency is about showing up even when it's hard.
Repeat after us. Stay consistent.
Next important one, daily practice.
It means to practice something every single day.
For example, I commit to daily practice because I know that's what it takes to improve.
Repeat after us. Build a habit, stay consistent, daily practice. Okay, the eighth and final secret habit. Fluent speakers connect with other English speakers.
And they do this on purpose. They know that language is social. You learn better when you're actually talking to real people.
So they make friends with English speakers?
not necessarily close friends, but they actively seek out conversations with people who speak English, language exchange partners, online communities, even just acquaintances from different countries.
And what's the benefit of that?
Everything. You get real conversation practice, you hear different accents and ways of speaking, you learn slang and expressions that you would never learn from a textbook. And honestly, it's a lot more fun than studying alone.
So the habit is surround yourself with English speakers.
Or at least regularly talk to English speakers, even if it's just online. You can find language exchange partners on apps and community groups on Discord, anywhere really.
And those conversations are better for learning than any class?
Way better, because the conversations are real. You're not practicing, you're actually communicating about things that matter.
What about if you make mistakes?
That's the beautiful part. People are usually pretty forgiving, and if they're not, you're probably not going to want to talk to them anyway. But most people, if you tell them you're learning English, they'll be super supportive and patient.
So it's like the whole community is rooting for you.
Exactly. And when you have real relationships with people who speak English, you have motivation to improve. It's not just abstract, it's personal.
That's a powerful habit.
It is, and it's probably the habit that gets people to fluency the fastest because you're combining everything. You're listening, you're speaking, you're reading messages, you're thinking in English, everything at once.
So if someone wanted to start building this habit, what would you recommend?
Start small. Find one language exchange partner or join one online community, just one, and commit to having conversations there.
How often?
Even just once a week is good, but every day is better. The point is, you're talking to a real person about real things.
All right, vocabulary time. The first phrase is seek out conversation.
The first shown, it means to actively look for and create opportunities to have conversations.
For example, I seek out conversation with English speakers by joining online communities where I can chat with people from different countries.
Yes. Repeat after us. Seek out conversation.
Next, build relationships.
It means to develop friendships or connections with people over time.
For example, through consistent conversations, I build relationships with people who become my language partners.
Exactly, and those relationships are valuable beyond just learning English. They become real friendships.
Repeat after us. Build relationships.
Next important one, talk about real things.
It means to have conversations about topics that matter to you, not just practice exercises.
For example, instead of practicing small talk, I have real conversations with my language partner about our jobs, our dreams, our families.
So it's authentic communication.
Totally authentic. Totally authentic. That's where the real learning happens. Repeat after us. Seek out conversation. Build relationships. Talk about real things.
Okay, so we've gone through 8 secret habits of fluent English speakers. Let me recap them for you.
Number 1, listen without translating. Direct comprehension.
Number 2, listen more than you talk. Ask good questions.
Number 3, embrace mistakes. Grow from them.
Number 4, read a lot. Read things you care about.
Number 5, think in English. Talk to yourself.
Number 6, consume English content you love. Get immersed.
Number 7, be consistent. Practice every single day.
And number 8, connect with English speakers. Build real relationships.
And here's the thing about these habits. They all work together. They're not separate things. They create a system where you're constantly improving.
And the beautiful part is, none of them are boring. You're not grinding through grammar exercises. You're just living a life that includes English.
Exactly. You're making English a normal part of your life, not something separate.
So for everyone listening, if you could pick just 3 of these habits to focus on this month, which would you pick?
I would pick number 4, read a lot, because it's the easiest to start and it builds vocabulary naturally.
I'd pick number 1, listen without translating, and number 7, consistency, because those are the foundation.
But honestly, you can't go wrong. Pick the 3 that feel most doable for you right now. Start there, and then add more as you get comfortable.
And remember, these aren't just habits for learning English. These are habits of people who already speak English fluently. So you're not just learning a language, you're learning how to think like a fluent speaker.
That's the real shift. And once you shift your mindset like that, everything changes.
Thank you so much for listening today. You sat through 20 minutes of real English conversation, and you just improved your listening skills without doing anything painful or boring.
Seriously, if you made it to the end, congratulate yourself. You deserve it.
So here's our final challenge for you. Pick one habit, just one, and commit to it for the next 7 days. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just try it.
And then come back to the comments and tell us which habit you picked and how it goes. We read every single comment, and we love hearing from you.
Tell us where you're from. Tell us what habit you're most excited about. Tell us your English learning story.
We want to know. Your comments matter to us.
Thank you for learning English with us today. This is Michael.
And I'm Emily. We'll see you next time.
Keep practicing, keep listening, and remember, you're already better than you were yesterday.
See you next time.